Hello viewers, MikeMoneyGMR here, and today I'm going to be doing a special Let's Chat because, I've been gone for a long time, though I have been updating, uploading a lot of videos lately, but in terms of actual, being here or whatever, I have been gone. So, basically this is my first official video since the last time I recorded, so it's kind of nice to be able to sit down and do this. So anyway, what's new in my life? Well, I became an uncle, so that's why I haven't been able to record any videos because basically, plain and simple, I've been helping my brother and sister-in-law get ready for that, and basically everything is now official, and he's actually here with us, in the house and all that. They're gonna stay that night for tonight. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is that because of the fact that I wasn't able to use my game room, I haven't been able to, make any videos in the past couple of days, month actually. But anyway, I came here today because I wanted to chat about something in specific. Not only did I want to update you a little bit as to why I wasn't able to make videos, I wanted to bring something to mind, something that I haven't noticed a lot of lately. And it's classic strategy games. And basically, I know that, of course there's not going to be many classic strategy games here, especially now since, a lot of the strategy games are going to be on the past systems and they're not going to be upgraded for the new systems. But basically, two games in particular is what I'm going to bring up today. The first is Battlezone, and no, not the Atari one. This one's different. This is a really awesome game. I have it in my hand right now, that's why I'm talking about it like that. Basically, I'll read you what's on the back of the case first, and then I'll kind of give you a little bit more information on it. But I won't be able to do either a let's show for either one of these because I don't have a computer that can play this anymore. And even if I did, I would have to record it with a camcorder, and it would be bad quality anyway because the computer I did have for it monitor died, and so yeah, it would not have been able to hook up. You would not be able to even see it, see what was going on in the game, or even understand what was going on. But basically, Battlezone, its catchphrase is "Take strategy to the front lines." It says, "You are the high-level commander making decisions for your own war-ravaged tank. Lead your U.S. troops on a mission to gain control of a superior alien technology in the true space race against the Soviets, or cross enemy lines to the Soviet side. It's all under your command." Now, this game brought on a new type of strategy combat. There really wasn't very many strategy combat games. At least not that I'm aware of. This is this is one and another one I'm maybe talking about, the only ones I really had. But this came out in let's see, yeah, it was released in 1998, and basically it was like an upgrade to the original Atari game. It had it basically had gameplay where you could drive all over the map, because there was now an expansive 3D map, and there was combat against enemies, with certain weapons, and depending on which tank you were in, you were able to do different things, you could take out enemies with missiles, rockets, that kind of stuff, and even a machine gun at some point, and you were able to command other group of allies to come with you. The great thing about the game is it allowed you to basically go out into the game and jump into any vehicle you wanted by pressing a button, of course, and then jump out of that vehicle if it became too damaged and get into another one. It kind of introduced that in a way, I guess you could say. though correct me if I'm wrong. It's like this is the first game I know of that did that. Basically, what they did in this game is they made it where you had to find a thing called biometal scrap, and you would go around collecting this stuff while enemies were trying to do the exact same thing. So you'd have to destroy the enemies. Kind of like, I guess a game that you can kind of compare it to is the old Warcraft games, where you would have to go out, get resources, bring them back to your town, make your town really huge while also making it a superpower so that you could defend yourself against the enemy, eventually find the enemy camp, destroy them, win the game. And it's kind of like that in a way, where in this game though, your objectives were, you'd have to collect so much scrap, I believe, while keeping yourself alive, and if ever your commander dies, the game's over. You have to try again. Like, there wasn't like a switch to another commander option or anything like that. No, once you're dead, your game's over, you have to try again. So basically, it was a real-time strategy game, and this is the kind of games I'm talking about, is strategy games like that, where instead of, you putting your characters out, making them, and then have them do their own things, you take direct control of them, more or less, like, well, you take direct control of one person and then command the rest of your group as followed. So how this game worked is you would choose a side and then you would go through so many missions until the game is over. I don't even remember how many missions there are. I don't even think it actually says either. No, not really. Yeah. But basically, yeah, you could do all sorts of interesting things in the game. But, that's not the only game I'm really talking about here. I think I kind of touched base on everything in that game. So we're going to move on to something else. The other game is by, these are both released by, this one's released by Activision, Battlezone, but the next one is going to be released by Rage, and it's called Incoming. It was released for the PC, Sega Dreamcast, and what was the other one? Oh no, that was it. So yeah, the Sega Dreamcast and PC. Now, Incoming took on a different approach. It was a stage by stage battle, and you didn't get to choose which side you were on. You just were on a defended side, and you take on hordes of alien invaders on this planet. Basically, I don't have the original case for it anymore. I don't even know what happened to it. It might be storage somewhere in the house. I really don't remember. But there used to be a website for it. I don't even know if it exists anymore. I'm actually curious. I'm going to check. Put it in Battlezone real quick. www.rage.co.uk. Let's see if that still exists. Probably doesn't. Yeah, it's not loading, and usually it would load right away, so that means it probably doesn't exist anymore. But basically, Rage Incoming, as I always called it because I thought that was the full name, was a very interesting game because you would take over, the very first stage you took over as a turret. And so you would have to plan your strategy out where you'd shoot down the attacking alien ships before they took out your base. But you also had a health bar yourself, and so you could only take so many shots before you were destroyed, and then the game was over. Because if you were destroyed, pretty much the game would end, and you'd have to try again. Because I don't think there was a life system. But what was even funnier is you could actually destroy your own base. Like, if you decided to do this for fun, what would end up happening is you would destroy a certain part of the base, and after you did, they would blow you up instantly. Like, it would self-destruct the turret. So it was kind of funny how you could do that as well. But many of the primary things in the game was to take down alien ships and certain vehicles, turrets, whatever. And usually it would be an AA gun that you start out with, and then believe it or not, a helicopter, which was kind of weird because, you're in a, space-like area and you have a helicopter. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And there's this picture here, and like I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, that looks so much brighter than my game ever did. Like it shows one of the vehicles that I never actually unlocked in the game, and it's like this jet-like thing. But basically, you would have a few different types of vehicles. I think you had the turret, a helicopter-like thing, a tank, like a little miniature tank thing, a alien UFO vehicle type thing, and the jet. And the one that was always the most difficult for me to control was the tank, because it had very strange controls for the PC version. You would have to, control left or right first, and then, hit forward to go forward, and, back to go back, whatever, right? But as a kid, I didn't understand, because this came out when I was still, like, at the time it came out, let's see, it came out for PC in 1998, so I was about 8 years old, or maybe even like 10 years old when I finally, when I actually decided to start playing it. And so, of course, I didn't really have much, coordination with those type of games. So, I was just like, shoot everything. If it dies, great. If not, well, I screwed up somehow, And so, this is basically what I'm bringing up today is, there was these games like this, and they were, super entertaining to play. And, you remember these games, and you find yourself thinking, oh yeah, this is a game that I used to play all the time, I'm sure those of you who remember it, are about my age as well. Those of you who are younger probably don't know what I'm talking about, and I understand. But, you have, you just have these classic strategy games, and I was thinking about it while at work. And so I thought to myself, well, the next time I get a chance, I want to talk to my viewers about strategy games. And so I wanted to ask you guys, I wanted to be like, so, we have games like, what are they called? I think it's like StarCraft or something like that. And we have, what's the other one? Halo Wars, for example, that's another one. Basically games like that, that's what we have now for strategy. And I was thinking about it a lot. I was like, well, they're not the same like they used to be. I know that, everybody's like, we need to see the new greatest thing. What I've been noticing a lot with most game developers, especially Nintendo, is really guilty of this. Instead of focusing on stuff that they remember, they focus on stuff that's new and, want to take a chance and shot in the dark type thing. And so they brought out these games like whatever the hell it's called. I've never played it, and I'm sure I'm going to get hate for that, and Halo Wars and stuff like that. And they were great, but, it was like, I don't know about this exactly. But then you got another game, I don't have it with me right now, but it's called Dune. And it was a Sega game. Let's see if I can't have any luck finding it. I didn't think I was going to talk about it, but I wanted to, make some more time. Yeah, here it is. It came out for the Sega Mega CD drive, and it also came out for just the Genesis as well, because that's what I have it on. And Dune is more based around the whole overhead view, control your troops to do stuff, and all that. It came out in 1992, and if I had to compare it to something, I would compare it to the new StarCraft games or whatever, the ones where you have your troops, you send them out, they destroy shit and come back. That's basically what it was. And I played a little bit of it. I got a little, far into it, for lack of a better word. I got pretty decent distance, but I never actually beat the game, and it's a really hard game. I might consider doing a show off for that, since it is a pretty fun game. But so if you want to know what it's based off, it was actually based off of, like, there's actually a movie that came out. I don't know when it came out, but there was a movie that was based off of it, and it was also by the same name. It was called Dune, and I actually watched it, and it followed the storyline pretty well, because like in the game there's like if I decide to do a show off, you'll get a picture of this, but you have enemies called sandworms, which you can't destroy until like way later in the game, and then you have the opposite people that you're trying to face off against, and they would have similar vehicles that you have to go against. Like you start out with like gunners type thing, like soldiers, and then you also have like fighters, which are like little miniature tanks, and then you have what's the other thing? And then you have your vehicles that go out and collect the stuff called spice. And the spice is necessary for you to get your characters. Like, to buy things, you had to have spice. And so to upgrade your troops and all that, you had to collect spice, bring it back to base, and then do it again and repeat until you've collected all the spice you can, and then make all your stuff and then attack the enemy base. The thing is about the game, there was one major flaw that I didn't like about it, and it is that when you're going, I don't know if it will talk about it here, but they were saying like whenever you go out to collect the spice, a sandworm can randomly appear under your transport unit, which is picking up the spice, eat it, and then you lose all that spice permanently. Like it doesn't respawn onto the map. And so it's just like, well, what do I do now? I'm screwed. I don't have any spice now. I have no parts. Do I just reset? And sure enough, you just pretty much reset. So I know I've been just kind of ranting a little bit, but I kind of wanted to talk about those 3 games. I've done a Let's Show off of, what was that other game? Do I still have it in here? Probably somewhere. Well, anyway, it was one that I showed off, and I said that I was considering doing a Let's Play of it, but a lot of you said no. And it was that tank battle game, which a lot of the strategy games back then were tank-based, it seems. But, that's the kind of games I like. It's like that, it's the classics. It's fun. It's challenging on a mode that you had to figure out distinct strategic moves to be able to win, or you would always lose, and they have that now, I'm sure. I just haven't played them all, so I don't know. But you play these games and you're like, oh, this is so much fun, I'm enjoying myself, and then you probably try to go back. If you tried to go back and play these old games, you'd be like, oh my god, these are extremely hard. I can't believe I used to enjoy this game. I'm sure if you are one of those who, if a game's too hard, you hate it immediately, of which I'm guilty of too. I'll understand and take your side on that. But yeah, I guess that's all I can really talk about. I'm sorry this was all over the place, but I really wanted to do this to kind of get out my what's it called? Jitters of being able to record again. Just kind of wanted to get excited and be able to, put this all together again, because this is so much fun to me. So, I guess the only other thing I can tell you now is to look forward to some, most likely, Let's Show Offs. And, I can't remember if I joked about doing, a certain Let's Show Off that would probably be boring to most people, Or if I already did it, I don't really remember. We'll see. I guess that's enough for now. I'm done ranting. If any of this didn't make sense to you, please just put a comment and I'll try to explain myself better. Just anything you want to know more about, just put in the comments and I will answer you to the best of my ability. If you have any experiences about any of these games, feel free to talk about that too. You know, as always, that's what Let's Chat's all about. It's about you guys putting comments about if you remember any of these games to, voice your experience and how much fun you had with it. Or, you can talk about the current, strategy games if you want to. I'll be happy to listen to you and give my opinion on it as well. But, just know that if you're talking about whatever that game is, I don't be upset if I'm like, well, I've seen some gameplay of certain games like this and they just weren't for me, But yeah, I'll just see you guys later. Till then, bye.